Hi everybody! Welcome back to
Hey,
the
hey,
channel.
hey.
Hi Gigi, you're muted right now. So welcome back everybody. So this is the panel before for some reason they're going on some break. And this will be the last panel to summer of Ready to Love season 10. So joining me today we have Brady and Gigi. And if you're new, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and drop a comment. Let's make this whole thing, interactive so that we can enjoy the live. So let's get into the episode. So let's start. So basically, we had a double elimination. Do you know what was funny to me? I was so annoyed because everybody could tell who was going to get eliminated. So we had Rocky and Polly eliminated at the end at the beginning of the episode. What do you guys think about it? I felt like it was no surprise.
Well,
So
Q
last
and
week we took like
Gigi
a little
actually
poll to
predicted
see who was
this.
gonna get eliminated. Okay, so I was gonna ask who did we pick? Because I forgot. Okay, so it was okay.
Okay,
I knew he was gonna
so
keep
I
Sahara.
got
I
the
knew
notes
it.
here. So Q and Gigi picked Rocky and Coley. I picked Rocky and Sahara, which I'm just like, why is Sahara still here? She makes Janelle look like a saint. And Janelle, what she said to the producers
No.
was not saint behavior.
Mm-mm.
I just, oh my God,
Yeah,
just
I don't understand why Sahara is still there. I have what in the world? Like, I feel like she's there right now just because it's good for television. Like she's good for the ratings because she brings like that drama aspect to it. Like she gives that, like she throws the shade, she brings the drama. She's like a wild card, so she's kind of like making up the personality for the women right now. So I feel like that's why they even have her still there. Other than that, her person's not on this show. Like her and Cam, this whole thing
not
between
at
her and
all.
Cam, fraudulent. Because now you're starting to see, or at least he's starting to recognize like her red flags. Like, did you not see them in the beginning? You are a firefighter, sir. You are supposed to notice when there's smoke, there's fire. Like, what are we
Right.
doing?
And not to mention too, he got onto Fritz, but now this is kind of coming back on Cam because now Cam has to deal with maybe Fritz was right. Because at the elimination dinner, when she said, I don't want to talk to you, Cam, I'm just like, so wait a minute. So nobody understood when she said y'all to the people and she really didn't want to be there. And she even said here that she didn't even want to be here. So it's just like self-eliminate. Please quit torturing us. This is
I'm
season
sorry.
10. This is supposed to be a celebration.
I'm of
This
the
should have been
opposite
in Vegas,
opinion.
damn it. But we got Philly. Shout out to Philly, home of Jill
Okay.
Scott Lee. But still, like, this should have been a better season than this Sahara-ish going on. It is dry. Damn. Go ahead.
I'm of the opposite opinion in this Sahara situation. Happening that date, just that particular elimination date. So let me create this scenario for you guys. Let's say every single week you are being told you are not good enough, you are not good enough, you are not good enough. But every same week they keep telling you, but we're not letting you go, you're not good enough, but we're not letting you go, you're not good enough, but we're not letting you go. It gets tiring. I mean, wow, woman. It gets really tiring, it gets really exhausting. That was how I saw. You guys know I never really defend Sahara, but that was how I saw it, like from viewers' perspective. Like putting myself in that shoe. If people keep telling me, "Oh, nobody has a connection with you," we feel like nobody really likes you every single week, day in, day out, and then you then keep telling me, "But don't worry, you don't need to leave. We still want you on the show. We still feel like you're ready to love." It just tells you that nobody's actually into you. Nobody's actually into you. But I'm not talking about how she reacted towards Cam because I feel like that was just bullshit. Because Cam came to you told you everything that was said in the gentleman's lounge. Like he went so far to tell you the people that went against you so that you'll be able to like take this thing in and maybe absorb it and like, okay, maybe I exhibited this and this attitude towards this said man and made this man to just be put off against me. That was my issue with her pertaining that part that she just did not want to absorb what Cam was saying. But her feelings wanting to leave, I agree. You can't keep telling me day in day out that I'm not that people are have like an issue pertaining what I do, how I react, how I this or that, but stay. Some people get mad, but this is one guy that has stood solidly behind you from the beginning of the season till now. The least you could have done was tell him, it's just like, well, as Carol said, currently I'm not in the mind frame that I can actually stay and have a calm conversation. I would like to step out and I'll speak to you later. The rah rah
You know,
attitude was just not it.
Solana, if she had you and Gigi's intelligence and comprehension skills and the emotional soul to carry that out, that would make sense. But also, too, in the words of Karen Huger, I'm only judging what you're giving me. And I'm going to keep saying this because it needs to be said. This grown woman, and the words of Niles the butler from the nanny, we're still waiting for the DNA results. But in the words of Niles the butler, like, I'm sorry, this woman has said that she burned a candle and buried a man on national television. Like, I can't get it off of that. Like, I'm not sorry. So, what's going to happen once again is she going to put 20 on 10. And then when it's back in control for the men, she's going to be in the bottom. And it's just like, I can't. I won't, and I don't have the capacity to take any more of this hit. I just don't.
You know what, Braylon? Honestly, I agree with both of y'all. And the reason why is because, okay, I can see on the one hand, yes, I would be tired of hearing every week how I'm that and the third, and I keep getting put down in the bottom two or three or whatever the case is, and possibly getting eliminated. But on the other hand, it's like, girl, at what point are you going to sit there and say, okay, what is really going on for there to be a reason why every time there's no is to fix it and do right, but yet you're not. And I understand, listen, that's her. You can say, okay, well, I can't change me. This is just me being
I don't know if it's only me that Gigi's
me.
mic is
This is,
breaking.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand and I get all of that. Like, hey, you don't have to change yourself,
Wait, Gigi, your
but
mic is breaking, or is it just me?
you can
No, you're going in and out, Gigi.
at least
Just a
show
lot.
different parts of
So
yourself.
Gigi,
It doesn't have to be even with Cam. Have to come at me, help you out. I'm coming feeling about you, but yeah, you're leave. Like, hold on, who you talking? I don't know, but like that whole just because you don't want to hear something that's being said about you, don't either self eliminate or take what's being said constructively and try to fix those things and give them a reason for elimination because he eliminated. Like you're not going to keep getting put down in the bottom two and just think that you're just going to be able to just sit there. Like that's not going
wait,
to be a thing.
Gigi, you're going in and out,
Like
but I get your point.
I need for
Gigi,
her
can you hear
to
me?
really
Gigi, can you hear me? You're going
your
in
mic is
and
breaking up,
out.
Gigi.
Maybe Yes, maybe you should go out and come back in. But I do get the summary of what you are saying. Like our perspective actually do make
Okay.
sense. But as statement really said, she should have self-eliminated unless they are paying her extra to keep the show spicy. This season is officially a bust. And I do agree. Because I think the women this season
Yeah.
don't really have the stake. Funny enough, the men are the ones bringing the, I don't know, for some reason, they're the ones really bringing the sauce this season. The women are quite boring. So I get why they would want to keep her in. I know we found out that essentially, even if they have like a bottom four, the show practically picks who is eliminated. So that's how it works. Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody, Fabulous is
and
saying
I
she should.
agree with you. Yeah, no, I'm agreeing with the chat because, like I said, this is season 10. The fact that this show has been on for 10 seasons, 10 years as the only black dating show, and this is the celebration of it, is really quite disappointing. I know when we talked about this, we said, well, at least I said that it should be in Vegas, right? Tommy should have came in on a yacht, big to do. He could have stayed at the Cosmopolitan, got dining, everything else. But no, we gotta do Philly. Nothing wrong with Philly. It's the home of Jill Scott Lee. Nothing wrong with it. Love Philly. Philly's awesome. But it's just for this to be season 10 with this individual, and I'm trying to be kind here, but you keep making fires and then you run away like you didn't cause the fire. Like at some point in time, you gotta be put out mentally and otherwise.
Yeah,
Because look, if a
I do
guy were to
agree.
do any of this behavior that Sahara was doing, then everybody would be wanting the guy to be out. Let's keep it a buck.
And I agree. So let's move on. She ended up walking away. Hi, G baby. She ended up walking away. Hi.
Hey,
And I feel like that was really shitty, but Cam took it well. Then the show this week, the guys had the power. No, the girls had the power, and they had to take their best second best relationship or connection out on a date. The owner decided to take Hussein out and they went to a ranch. Initially, the date was going so nice, and I was like, oh, this is actually really cute. Then they sit down and start talking about communication, and it's like, oh, I really actively communicate. In my past relationship, I was not really communicating, but now I really actively communicate. And then she's like, but you don't seem like the kind of person that communicates well. I feel like I'm a person that just goes, even if you like something, you just keep quiet till something really pushes you to say that. Basically like a prejudgment. And then he's like, no, that's not how I am. At this point that it starts getting really like cold. And then she starts talking about, oh, when I'm at work, I don't text. I'm the kind of person that can go a day without texting because when I'm at work, I'm at work. Hmm. Before I speak, what do you have to say about
this is interesting because here's the thing, right? I get what Deanna is saying that saving lives is not the same as being at a desk. Fully agree with that. In the same token, though, if you say that you want to rest in your femininity, but you're not even allowing him to prove himself, then how can you rest when you have him so tense? And I think what Hussein was trying to say, and I could be wrong, and Solana and our fam here in the live chat, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But I think what he was trying to say was, regardless of if you're fighting fires or not, fighting fires rather, or being at the office, you can make time for what you want to make time for. And you have to be able to clock out or to clock into your relationship, which that makes sense, right? I mean, if I was married to Nzinga Amani Lee, I don't care how much she has going on. If she's got a break from, filming Satima or Sisters, and we can only talk for 15 minutes, those 15 minutes or our 15 minutes. That's prioritization. So I feel like Hussein actually got a lot of points here. Deanna seems, a little bit rigid, and I understand that that's the job. But at some point in time, if you keep locking the gate, and nobody can get in, you can't complain about why isn't nobody coming to the gate. Well, when it's so locked up and it's got vines and stuff, nobody wants to do hard work where you're not even willing to just at least get some Roundup to just start the process of healing yourself. But that's my take on it.
Well, if we're
Gigi,
talking
what do you
about
have to
Deanna, huh?
Yeah, I was asking you to speak.
Oh yeah. So when it does come to this, date with Hussein, even though I only heard part of what you said, Braylon, I agree because I feel like she was a little too closed off to accept what he was actually saying. And I truly understand what he's saying. Like, yeah, I understand you're working, you have a career, you're a firefighter, and you know, that's the job. But for you to say, like, you just, you're not, you say you want communication, but then you say that you don't have time to communicate. It's like, make it make sense. Which one is it? Because, and then to go off and tell this man that he looks like he's a bad communicator, or he's the type that holds things in and he doesn't speak about how he feels. Like, that's very judgmental to say something like that just off what, just looking at him. And then to turn around and say what she said, it's like, I don't know. It just didn't make sense. It seems like she's closed off. Like, I understand you don't want a firefighter, so you just dismiss Cam the way you did. But the way that she just did that with Hussein, I feel like that was a way for her to just dismiss Hussein. Like, that was just an excuse for her to not have to compromise in a way. Like, I don't know. Deanna, she's gorgeous. She's very beautiful. Body's rocking, all of that. But you can have all of that. But if your personality is not shit, then what do you have? You have a nice
Correct.
BBL, but no personality. Like, what are we doing?
Dang.
I'm
Oh, my Lord.
I'm
I
just
didn't say
saying.
that. I
Okay.
didn't say that.
No, but I am because I'm just saying you can. No, this man is sitting there trying to communicate with you, and you're telling him that he looks like he can't communicate, but then you turn around and say, "But I don't communicate when I'm at work." And just because he's like, "Yo, well, you being, if your man was the president and you being a firefighter, I mean, it's the same thing. If he's finding time to communicate with you and he's the president, why can't you find time when you're a firefighter? Like, what's the difference?" And we have said this on the show before. People will make time for what they want to make time for. So if she really
Absolutely.
wants to, and she really like, it doesn't matter if that's your man, your man, you're going to find that time in between fires, in
Absolutely.
between getting a cat out of a tree, in between wrapping up that hose, whatever the case is, you're going to find that time. So yeah, she just kind of threw me off on that. But yeah, that horse was horsing, okay? And I'm not talking about the one she was riding. I was talking about the one she was sitting on. Shoot, we ain't gonna play
As
Deanna thick. She's thick and cute, but that whole that just turned me off for her.
I
I
fully
think
agree
she
with
keeps
you.
doing
I
this
fully
thing
agree.
that she did the same thing to Cam. I think she's only just open towards it. That's like the only guy I've seen her like actively being open and feminine towards. The other guys, she always finds one reason to put them off because that entire conversation and the way she made it seem as if she was right, like she legit gaslighted the same in that entire conversation. I was irritated because she made herself seem so self-righteous, so correct that if you did not have your senses proved well, you would have thought that she was like 100%. How would you be an active communicator and then you don't talk to people for a whole day? Like I'm a very bad communicator. That's why I felt really like annoyed. When I'm working like this, I don't check my phone. I just drop my phone and start off. But I feel the little 10 minutes, 5 minutes that you have in between those lunch breaks, you can get your phone, just like scroll through. Even if it means answering everybody's text messages at once, and then even if they reply, you answer them again in the next maybe 6, 7 hours. It still means like the person, it tells the person that, oh, this person actually understands and this person knows that I exist. She's completing herself and she gives the vibes of she wants a man to pursue her, meanwhile she does nothing. I'm like, I'm not angry at that, but then don't say that you're an active communicator because you are not.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
let's move
I mean, I
on.
fully agree.
It's
Not
like
to mention too, I
she's
was
got the
go.
body of a Barbie, but the brains of a bracelet. So I don't know. Like
Oh
that.
wow.
I'm just saying no,
And
because
also too, who's
the way she came off with
no,
that
go
though,
ahead.
that's what I'm finding so disrespectful is just the way that she came off. Like you said, how are you finding it like you found a problem and then ran with it as if you were right in what you were saying and if what he said was just absolutely so wrong. You act like he said to you, your job means nothing just because you're a little firefighter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like she act like he was like really disrespecting her job. He was just basically saying like,
Right.
yo, you should still be able to communicate regardless of if you're the president or a firefighter. Like if you're at work, like it shouldn't matter. Communication should still be something that's open, especially if you're saying that that is something that is a deal breaker. So, yeah, let's move on.
Right. Absolutely. No, absolutely. And not to mention too, I mean, if she has done this to Cam, and even with Cam, I mean, at least Cam has opened up about, depression and living for his niece. And, Hussein, we find out a little bit later that he has went through some stuff in his childhood. Who's to say that she might not, have a moment with Eddie where Eddie doesn't check her box. And then guess what? When the men are in power and they're in the vault talking about that you're a bit of a hard ass, and you're in the bottom, then it's going to be on you. So to me, it seems like Deanna is more of a nice, nasty Sahara. She's just is a little more
Yeah,
finite in her bluntness. So, but
yeah. So Naeem and Terry went on a date and there were a lot of touches. Like you said, there was skin to skin, getting deep. She was laughing so
That
much.
thing.
We were having. I'm just saying. I like. He was the one who said it. I'm just repeating the same things he said. I just like. Let me give my opinion first. I just felt like they kept giving excuses as to why they were enjoying themselves, and then she kept referencing, "Oh, but I like Cisco." Again, we know that he likes Cisco. Cisco. We know. But you actually had a great time marrying. Just enjoy and go on. It's very obvious that she's not attracted to Naeem. Like it's too obvious. She was way too comfortable on the first date, putting her like the signs were there, laughing. It just gives best friend vibe. Someone that she's very like comfortable talking to. Someone she's very like happy to speak to. It did not give that they were going to find any connection. It just did not give that vibe. I don't know. That's just it.
No, I feel like, yeah, their connection definitely is not one of those connections where it's like, oh, we really, really have so much in common and we just really are enjoying each other's company. And, oh my gosh, I just feel like I could just let my hair down with you. Like, no. And it's almost as if they kind of like bonded with the whole fact of almost like they was doing something behind Cisco's back in a way. Like, I know that that's not the case, but like Naeem brought up the fact of, yeah, me and Cisco bonded over this brotherhood, but I like Tay. And then Tay's like, oh, but I like Cisco, but Naeem. And it's like, come on. Is that like what really y'all's date is about? Is the fact of both y'all feel like y'all are doing something against Cisco? Like, I don't know. Yeah, there was a lot of touchy feelies. There was a lot of like I feel like there's a lot of physical attraction there, But as far as like mental, spiritual, or you know, like anything else outside of that, I don't see that they really have that attraction with each other. And I also feel like maybe the drinks loosened them up a little bit. You know, nothing wrong with it. We're all adults here, but like, come on. Like, plus, I don't feel like Naeem is Tay's type like that. Like, I just don't see. I don't know. I don't see her really being like the type that would really, really be into Naeem. Like, I do feel like she's more so into Cisco for real, for real.
Yeah, with this potential connection, I did see the physical chemistry, uh, but also too, I think with the fact that Tay, she also said that when we first sat down, you said that you have 5 kids. That scared me, but also too, I did think about how an amazing father you are, right? And so I will say that there was at least some progress on that front. Reality shows, they tape like 12 hours is a good day. Um, if you can get to 9 hours, you're really good. But 12 to 14 hours is usually the typical frame of reference for reality TV. So we don't know the behind the scenes. It did feel that they were doing things behind Cisco's back, but also too, this is the experience. And so maybe they now have the chance to do it, because they're in the experience. But yeah, it could be possible, it could not. I don't really see it going anywhere. But I'm at least proud of the progress that they actually tried to do something. I mean, at least there was more communication here than what Deanna did with Hassan or Hussein. So
I'm muted. I didn't even know I was muted. But yeah, they really just want. I think they had a lot of liquid courage. So I don't. It allows you to say what you want to say. So they really had a great time. They enjoyed each other. I think this was one of the dates that I think the only dates where they really enjoyed each other, because every other ones did not end well. So let's move on to the next date. Oh God, Cisco.
Ah, in the
My
words of a
God,
song, your body is a wonderland.
the,
Yes, indeed.
the way he said, like, I understand that, oh, you went body painting, you were shocked, but then he said, well, I need a canvas. I was like, dude, you just want to see her nude. You wanted to see her naked. Because he didn't need to, he was the canvas. He didn't need to draw, he didn't need to paint on her. And it's like, oh, but I want to paint, I need a canvas, knowing that she was butt naked.
I mean, and then again,
Mm.
like with her, like I understand you're a nudist and you like being naked. That's fine and all, but girl, come on.
In front of everybody, the cameras, the producers.
And you're doing this, hold on, and you're getting naked off top with a man that you aren't about to one sleep with, or you're really not on a top connection with like that. Like, I understand y'all have had like a couple good conversations and things like that, but no, I'm sorry. I'm not finna just take you into my nudie world just because we're having our first one on one. That's just not how that works out, honey. And then you just standing in front of him, just, loose cooch and all. Just come on. Just,
Like, I was gagged when I saw that she also was not wearing pants. I was like, God, it's never that serious.
I'm sorry, but you're not going to tell me that when them cameras went off, y'all didn't paint something else. Because how? Mm-mm. I'm sorry, it's just something about it. You just sitting there, like, I understand wanting to be erotic or wanting to be, um, like I said, wanting to be yourself, wanting to be open, wanting to be, you know, free. I understand all of that. But to go about it this way, where you're, just like him, okay, he's got on shorts. Girl, you could have had on a bikini. You did not have to be completely nude. Like, I don't know, that was just a little bit much. I just felt like that was just way too much for this date.
Well, it seems like what Gigi is saying, everybody, is that if Sharice ran out of white paint, she knew where to go get the white paint. She just had to, you know, um, just pull and tug and just make sure the paint could come out. If she needed some white paint, ladies and gentlemen. But no, listen. At the beginning, middle, end of the day, there is a phrase that says you're grown and so am I. I do agree that for a first date, you do need to make a connection before you get to that. Um, but we have had people on this show that they have been into BDSM, and we're waiting for Ready to Love BDSM edition, and now we have a Ready to Love Nudist edition coming up very soon. So the sexuality on this show is very fluid. Um, she's confident in who she is. I could tell Cisco was a little off with it because he didn't even know what was going on. But at the beginning, middle, end of the day, these are grown people. But I do see from the outside looking in, normally this wouldn't happen. And I think that this date really got some conversations going of should we be more mental in building connections or should we be more, physical? Um, but yeah, you
I guess
muted,
in this
I think.
instance, it's like the question is, okay, so yes, everyone's adults. Everyone's grown. We know this. But in this day and age, when when you're getting to know someone and you're first meeting them, yeah, we have a lot of conversations. And even on the show, we've seen their conversations that they've had. We've seen them talk about, what are your deal breakers? What do you like? What do you don't like? You know, um, and of course, sex is a part of the conversation. It gets brought up. But at what point in the relationship? Because right now, they're not even in a relationship. This is still them getting to
Right.
know each other and figure out where they're wanting to be. So the question is it too soon to get naked and show someone your full body who you are not in a relationship with yet, or even at the point of considering them your potential partner? Is it too soon to be showing your body, or should you just show it off top because that is something that is a part of you? You're a nudist, so you're just going to, and it's not even that she's like a nudist like that, but okay, I understand you like being naked, but still, should you wait to do that until you find someone, or since that is something that you like, do you just show it off top and then either be judged and, you know, get mad when people only want you for your body and being naked? Like, I don't know.
I
I
mean,
just feel like it's a catch
she
22.
she dresses to be appreciated for her body, and I think that's one thing I've been pointing out. Oh, I've not been joining the panel, but that's one thing that I've noticed throughout the entire season. Her dresses have been provocative. I understand that I'm always championing women to dress how they want, but I realized that she never for once dressed in a classy way. It was always trashy. It was always so naked, like everything just out there. We get that you did a wonderful boob as job, like congrats to your doctor, but I always noticed that our assets were always out.
Mhm.
It was just like she just wanted people to know that she had all these things, and it took away from how beautiful she is, because anytime she speaks, I'm like, oh, she's intelligent, but then I look at how she's dressed and I'm like, nah. Because for a first date, this is the kind of date you go with someone that you're already like sleeping with. I don't know if she's sleeping with Cisco at, like, I mean, they are consenting adults, but It just threw me off. Like, no, your boobs were out there, your coochie out all up in the air, like the producers, everybody seeing it. It was like, yeah, it was too much. And all in the queue, is it me or did she turn into someone different than when she showed up the first time? Yeah, she's not looking for love. Like, she doesn't give me vibes of someone that's looking for love. She's not ready for love. It's just that she has been hiding under the shadows of worst castmates. I would say.
Like
But
honestly,
It
and
was
this is something that. Oh, go ahead, Bray.
no, I was just going to say very quickly, I think with this show, um, everything's in the eye of the beholder. So of course you want to make your best first impression. Um, but also too, how do you showcase yourself in 10 episodes, right? So not saying that should be the leading thought, but you don't want to be so cookie cutter that you're boring, but you don't want to be so out there that you don't have a center. Um, and I do agree
yeah,
with you all that I think.
she's boring, she has no character. All we know her for now is that. And throughout the entire season, nobody would actually care for her. All we would know her as is the nudist. So what exactly did she gain?
No,
I feel like her
right.
and
No,
Fritz,
and
honestly, I feel like her and Fritz are more compatible. And this whole like polygamy thing that
yes,
they want to keep throwing out with Fritz, I feel like she would play really well into that because I feel like she's the only one who hasn't had a problem with it and really hasn't had too much to say about it. Plus, with the way that she's showing us this, like the way that she's dressed and acting, like you said, she's boring. There's nothing really to her. So I feel like honestly, if there was to come to it, her and Fritz are more compatible, and that's really who is her person. Like honestly,
right. And I fully agree with both of you ladies. That's why I was saying that, if you've never been on TV, just to kind of give the context, um, it's a lot of it's a lot of mental boxing going on with your mindset. So I do agree that, to navigate this is not the easiest thing, but I do also agree with the fact of, at least maybe for her, that's something that maybe in her past relationships that maybe she has been forthcoming about. And so because she got this out, it's out. But also too, if you don't have it, don't do anything extra that you don't have to do. But I agree with you, Gigi, and with Solana, that Fritz and Sharice are probably the vibe. So, and if not, listen, Ray to Love Nudist Edition coming up next on well, maybe now on probably on
Yeah.
Discovery Plus and Max. So,
honey, at this point, send them over to Zeus. Let them,
oh, not Zeus.
yeah,
Oh
let them
no.
body paint on Zeus. Let them just go ahead and have yeah. Let them just go ahead.
But let's go on.
That's funny.
Let's move on to Hussein and Rose. Honestly, I didn't want to add this to this slide because as much as he talked about his childhood drama, oh, that's a drama, childhood trauma, it was boring. I felt like she saw herself in him and she was acting like his savior. And I was, hmm, she didn't see him as a man. She saw him as a fellow survivor, a fellow damaged child. After he spoke about how he was getting the first and everything, she just, I don't know, I didn't even want to add it because I don't like talking about people's trauma. I just felt like, okay, we talked about it, fine, let's move on. But you guys can say give your input.
So you're saying basically he's the male version of her. So basically that's why she was more interested Because it does seem like whenever they, the whole parenthood thing, and then it comes out that he was in the foster care system, and then she was too. And it does seem like they're able to communicate and bond over that. So, I mean, trauma bonding's a real thing. And it's possible that she could help him out through this because maybe that could be a hang up that he has that she's gotten over or something. I don't know, but does it seem like it's a part of a real connection? No. Does it seem like she was kind of mother henning him, like, it's gonna be okay. Let me just pat you on the back a little bit. You can cry, but that's about as far as it's gonna go. Because, I mean, yeah. And maybe it's the fact that, she's a mother of a boy. You know what I'm saying? So she has a different outlook when it comes to, you know, the feelings of a man, which it is a real thing. I have boys, I have girls too. So I see both sides. But I feel like with her, she is she is looking to parent her relationship as well.
That was the
But
vibe I got.
Mm. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. Well, you guys have definitely given me a different point of view. Um, because you know what, and when I first got onto this great panel with these two great ladies, and of course our main man Q, I just see the show for what it is, face value, but also stepping back and doing some research, I do see what you mean of how if you're always being someone's savior, can it be a real connection, right? And I feel that with this conversation, while it was good of that connection, I guess, don't let that be your only thing bonding you. I'll never forget something that my mom said to me one time that, because this was at a time where I was on academic, I was on a 1 point cumulative GPA academic one, close to getting kicked out of school. And my mom, I told my mom about, me speaking to some young people. And my mom said to me, Bray, why do you keep telling that story? I'm like, well, for one, I made it through it. Thank God, because that was a lot of tuition money, for one. Number two, the fact that I was able to own my story. Number three, that I did not allow my circumstances to define me, but I defined my circumstances. And after everything was said and done, you know what my mom said to me, y'all? She said, Bray, if you keep telling that story, that is all they're going to know of you. If you keep telling that story, that's all they're going to know of you. So I do hope that because they got this out the way, that they recognize that that's not the only story they have to tell of themselves to each other and to the world. I am glad that this season of the show we are seeing more vulnerability, but also show the totality of who you are, not just the moments of struggle.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on after because this is the date I want to talk about. So Angie went on a date with Eddie, and then clash of principles started happening. First, he said he wants a woman that cleans and cooks and still has a career. And then, what was the second thing he said? Yeah, then he asked her about her exes, and she was like, oh, she's still close to them. And then she has one that was a childhood friend that they tried to see if something was going to happen, but it didn't work, and she's still pretty close to him. And I was like, oh, there's an issue in that. And it's like, oh, let me go check, please. What do you guys think about it?
Ooh. Gigi, you want to go ahead with this because I feel
hold it.
like this conversation that happened was a very woman heavy conversation, and I'll come after you because Angie has her right to have her perspective, but I want you to go first because Lord, it was a lot to this.
There was definitely a lot with that, and So I feel certain types of way because yes, now in certain circumstances and in your relationship, certain people should it they should be cut off. Now, if you're talking to, exes like your ex you just got out of relationship with, there's still some feelings there and you're with someone else and you're trying to move on. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit harder to deal with that when you're still entertaining your exes. So, yeah, I can understand that part. And it's going to create jealousy and problems where, problems don't need to be. Now, if you got friends that you've been friends with your entire life and y'all been through ups and downs, you have seen, people come and go, they've seen people come and go out of your life. It is hard. And I do feel like it is wrong to just throw these people away because friends are hard to find. Okay, especially good friends. When you actually have true friends and people who you can, you guys respect each other on the same level, you have the same interest, you know that no matter what happens, this person's going to have your back through thick and thin. Yeah, you don't just throw those people away. And if a person truly loves you, they'll understand that just as well as you shouldn't want them to throw away, those important people like that in their life because that would start making me question just about what type of person you are, period. Okay, so I understand her saying, like, yo, my best friend that I've been friends with for this long, yeah, they're not going nowhere. That I completely understand. And I can understand Eddie saying, like, hey, your exes, yeah, we might have to talk about that. I can control it. I can totally understand where he's coming from with that too. But on the other hand, my boy Eddie, why is he giving that he has nothing to bring to the table? Like he's giving me where he is the type that wants to try to control things. Like he's the type of person in my eyes, and this is just me, but he's giving me the type like he'll do something for you just to say he did it and throw it up in your face, or he does stuff just to get something in return. Like he's not the type to do it out the kindness of his heart. He's not about to just, you know what I'm saying, because that's what he's supposed to do. And then the whole, oh well, I basically expect for my woman to be at home cooking and cleaning because I don't want to cook, I don't want to clean, I don't want to do this. It's like, you want a maid, you don't want a wife, you want a maid, you want a servant. Like, no, sir. What are you, in order to get these things, because it's not a problem for a woman to serve her man like that. And saying serving your man, people take that as, oh, I'm not a slave. I'm not finna do this and I'm not finna do that. But when you really love somebody and you get in a relationship, honey, yes, you will. Because serving your man does not mean that you are being, you know, you're being disrespected, because there's a lot of respect that comes with it. Like, it's an understanding and a growth that you have to have in order for you to understand what it means to fully, serve the man that you're with, as well as serving the Most High. So with him, it's like, okay, you want this, but what are you bringing to the table to get that? Because there are women out here who have no problem. Honey, I'll keep the house clean. I will make sure that you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. I will make sure that, everything's taken care of. But what are you bringing to this woman in order for her to continue to do this for you? Eddie does not seem like he brings anything to the table but his looks, and that's not really going to get him that far. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah. No, let me say this, right? I do understand what it is to try to, level off your insecurities and communicate those. But when you allow that to be your guide for how you want to move, that's when it becomes a problem. Last time I checked, and this is not simping, this is not getting brownie points, this is not trying to do anything for any praise. But last time I checked, I think Eddie's got 2 arms, and he's got 2 legs, and he's got 2 feet that work. To come into, first of all, this experience, right, is one thing, right? Because how can you navigate being on TV? But then to come into this experience with another whole human being, to say what you want and what you don't want when there hasn't really been any space to showcase, can you even follow through with your actions of respecting her point of view. You don't get to make requests when you don't have the account to even purchase her energy. And it goes to that statement that I think I've heard many times: don't do wife duties when you're in the girlfriend role. And same thing with the men. Don't do husband things when you're in the boyfriend role. So you're asking for wife benefits when you're not even coming in with any benefits for her to pick you up as her husband. Um, and that's my perspective on, because I'm just like, so wait, you want her to cook, clean, and everything else, and you don't want to do anything, bruh? I live alone and I make my own life because I was raised to do that, and you have to. So if you don't want to do anything, that's a reflection of what you don't do for yourself. And that was shared on national television. Bruh, I don't know how you recover from that.
Eddie, you could tell Eddie's hiding a lot of insecurities within himself just because I feel like he does feel like he is a good looking guy, but he does not get certain qualities from women that he wants because he's not that type of quality guy. Like, and I agree with you, G baby. Like, he looks like he's the type that sleeps with his friends. And that's what he has. Like, let's just go ahead and put it out there. Eddie looks like a fuck boy. Like,
Because that's what he is.
like what else? I don't In this time I have not seen him come with anything worth saying like, yo, this might actually be somebody who's worth dating. Like Angie, girl, what I feel like she's fawning over his looks too. It's not about his personality and the different thing. Like it's his looks. That's what she likes most. But after this date, she realized there's not too much to him. Like he's not giving what you think.
Yeah.
Like he honestly, no offense, but he's another Deanna. He looks good, but he has the brains of a bracelet. Like, where's your personality? What do you have? What else is there? Give us something else.
Right.
The space is enough for him. I think the issue is that all his life, that's the problem with people that are very handsome. All their life, their face have been their bank. You have an issue, use your face. Beauty is wealth. People need to be honest. When you are pretty, when you are handsome, you are rich. You just need to know how to use your currency. And fortunately for him, it has been working. I mean, look at the way Coley was acting crazy. It has been working. That's why he doesn't know how to have conversation of substance that would not make him look trash. All the conversations we had in this episode made him look terrible. Every single one of them. And stay tuned, saying Auntie should have no problems cooking and cleaning. Yes, she's a mother. Yes, she takes care of everything, of whatever she is taking care in the house. But the difference between cooking for yourself and cooking for someone else, you have to put in perspective what the person likes. I'm living alone. I just wake up and create, something comfortable to eat, and I just throw it up and I eat. But when you are actively cooking for somebody, you would want the food to taste nice. Plus, she's a working lady. She's a working class lady. She will have to take care of herself. She will have to clean. He said dating. That means while they're dating, she will go to his house, clean, cook. Come on. For what reason? That's how I'm made. Oh, take care of yourself. You're an adult male. Cooking and cleaning are survival skills. And I won't lie, there's some women that like taking care of their men, and I'm not part of those women. I don't know that kind of energy. But He could have put it in a way that would have been nicer. I agree with him somewhat in the whole friends, ex, and everything, but I will not be a hypocrite. I am still close to all my, because I think so far relationship ends when you have respect towards your partner. There should be no issue with still being friends with your ex. The only reason why someone will feel like someone else is sleeping with their ex is because they have sometimes slept with their own ex. But yeah, let's move on.
I mean, yeah, you got that as well, but then you also have the fact of like you also have to think, okay, if we're just dating and we're starting off dating, and the first thing you want me to do is cut off my surrounding support system or the people that I know if we don't work out, those are the people that I'll be able to, that's going to help me pick myself back up, or in them days where I can't get out of bed because I'm so heartbroken, I'm crying, and I got that friend that comes over that's able to get me out the bed. Why am I going to give that up when I don't even, one, I barely even know you. I don't even know if we're going to last past tomorrow, but you want me to give up people that we have weathered the storm, 20, 35 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been friends since grade school, but you want me to give up this long-term friend for somebody that I haven't known for a month? I mean, just make that make sense. But then that also worries me because a lot of times we have heard, and some of us have gone through it. I've gone through the isolation where you get with somebody, they isolate you, they tell you, stop talking to your friends and your family, and next thing you know, they're abusive. You know what I'm saying? They're taking your money, they're beating your ass, they're making it where all you can do is stay home, cook, clean, and you can't talk to anybody. So you have no one to vent to, you have no one who's there to actually like help you recognize that what you're going through isn't right. So to me, I mean, it's a bit scary. It's worrying too, especially with the fact of him saying like even just dating, not us being married or even in a full committed relationship. It's like, no, if you're my girlfriend and we start dating, that means you got to come over and start cleaning my house now. Like that's kind of how I took it. It's like, and just like you said, Braylon, he wants the wife benefits without the husband qualities. Like you have to have those qualities in
Yep.
order for you to have a wife. Like be who at least that's what I was saying. Like at least give something. What do you have to offer? You want all of these things, but what are you offering or what are you doing in order to get those things? What what do you have or what have you shown that shows like, hey, I'm deserving of this? And we can't just keep on saying, well, everybody deserves this and everybody deserves that because they don't. And some people show that they don't deserve those qualities. And I'm sorry, he's showing that. Like at least at least be willing to give in or compromise on some of those things. But no, I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm ready for Eddie to go.
But one thing I'll give to him before we move to the next stage is that he was honest about what he wants so that someone doesn't jump into a relationship with him and then they start regretting. So I will give it to Eddie. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for telling everybody what you want. The right kind of woman will definitely meet him. There's a woman for him. There are women that are willing to take all that, and they will definitely be in his DMs right now. So now the next stage was between Rose again and Faith. God damn. I didn't even know who was wrong here because both of them were just not understanding each other. The date had not even started. They just said, food. And the message comes talking about, oh, I have a child. And I was like, fine. I mean, well, adults here. And then she's like, we've had multiple miscarriages. Would you have an issue if we have to keep trying and then we eventually cannot have a child? And I was like, well, with the events of medicine moving forward, we can have a surrogate. I was like, no, no, no. No woman is going to take care of my child. The only thing I can do is adopt. I am not really pro surrogacy, maybe because I'm in the medical field and I know what goes on. But for people who are not in the medical field, I don't think many people really like knows what really goes on in it. And you're not saying it's because of the whole trafficking issue. You just do not want it. There is no consideration from her side towards him. All you're thinking about is me. I get that when you are pregnant, there's a bond between you and that child. But what about him? You want to keep trying and trying. Why you want to keep waiting and waiting? So he will become the stepfather to your kids. He will not have his own kids, and then you guys will adopt. I am pro adoption, but I'm seeing from their side of you. What do you guys think?
I understand that completely, but I'm also on the side of okay, so I'm with her and I'm against her in the same way. For the simple fact of one, I understand completely what she means by there's just a bond that you have with your child when you carry it. When you're going through the whole, process of this child growing inside of you, you feel it all. You go through the aches, the pains, the kicks, the movements, the hearing the heartbeat, you know, just the way that your body reacts to being pregnant and carrying a child and then giving birth to that child, it's just a bond that is irreplaceable. But on the other hand, if you are with someone and you know that one, either A, your partner can't have kids, either you can't carry the child to full term or your partner just does not have the capacity to impregnate you, there should still be some type of consideration. Like, don't just completely shut down surrogacy, because even with surrogacy, I mean, there's a lot of dangers with it. Yeah. So honestly, I would probably move towards adoption before trying to do a surrogate, because one, there are a lot of misplaced children and children who need good families, good homes. So why not, instead of adding to the problem, why not try to get some of these kids out of this rotating system and help them out and help raise these kids to be better, or give them a better chance at life. But two, when it comes to surrogacy as well, like, they have it with all the medical advances, is where they can still take, because I've heard a lot of women say too, not only just they don't want the woman carrying the child, but they also fear, like, when it comes to DNA and the child not being theirs. But they can take the woman's egg and place it inside the surrogate with the man's sperm, and it still be the biological child of the man and the woman. Like, there's a lot of advancements to where this can happen. So it's still your child. You're just not the one carrying it. But I still feel like there should be a compromise. Now, when it comes to Fritz, him just completely thinking like, hey, oh no, she just completely cut off being a surrogate and is against it. Okay, she's against it. But did you hear the other part about adoption? Like, are you okay with adoption? Or what about even IVF? Yeah, it costs money. And I mean, it's the same as you carrying a child and possibly miscarrying. It's the same with a surrogate. A surrogate could possibly miscarry. Like, there's so many possibilities and difficulties and just things that can happen when it comes to childbirth or life in general. So there has to be compromises, period. But if you're with someone and you say, hey, we're going to do this thing, I feel like it should definitely be where all options and avenues are looked at and considered, especially if it's something that you both really want. If you really want a child that bad, in the end, if a surrogate is the way you're going to have to go, that's how you're going to have to go. Don't just completely just deny it now and then it comes down to it. Now you feel like you're forced. I don't know, but yeah, I didn't feel like they was compatible anyway. So there was going to be a problem somehow. Like, there was always going to be some type of issue that would come up, and I feel like that was just one of them. So
Yeah, no, when I watched this part of the episode, I did think of all the babies in the NICU, and the if you haven't seen the rates for Black mortality and maternity rates, it will piss you the hell off. Let me say that first. In this situation, um, I understand both sides of it. I understand that miscarriages are painful. They are they're a space that nobody wants to be in, and there is postpartum depression that some women have not been able to get out of. Um, that is a real thing. It's not just the physical health, but it's also the mental health of the woman. And with Fritz, him saying about surrogacy, I do think is up to um, men and women to be able to explore the options of what can be. Most of the time, when it comes to being able to figure out a way to go about creating life, that conversation is scary because you don't have the answers and I don't have the answers. So it's best to run away from not knowing anything rather than coming to the table to find out something. But the more that you hold off the problems, the less time you have to find solutions. So I do see both sides of it. I think that like Gigi said, if this was a issue of this if this was an issue of this magnitude and y'all not even together, I think Judge Lynn told her, no, I think it was Dr. Phil who said it's better to know that you're not in love for 1 year than to know that you're not in love for a year and a day. So stop it while you're ahead, and that's what happened here.
So yeah, let's go on
Muted.
to
Oh,
let
sorry.
me comment. Okay. Yeah. Please not wanting another child is also normal. We can't force people to want what they don't want. So like the last date happened between Tay and Cisco and they had a kiss and Cisco kept telling us the confessional that, oh, I wish I can tell her, I want to tell her about the date that where he was practically almost naked and he was away. I was waiting for him to speak on it and he never spoke. Hmm. Okay. I know that he's more attracted to Tay, but when your mind starts telling you to say something or be truthful about certain situations, I think your mind can, I don't know, I always say my mind, it may cause an issue at that moment. But to be frank, you realize that your mind was actually honest and was being right. But the date was just, no, maybe because I'm so used to their attraction and their communication, I just wanted it to hurry up. What do you guys
I'll say this. It was a lot of progress from, being homeless and, instability to where they are now with a whole kiss and oohs and ahs and yahs going around the room. Um, when it came to Cisco, wanting to talk about the date, I feel like maybe the reason why he didn't talk about the dates because he was trying to focus on Tay's insecurities that was brought on by him. So I'm sure that's probably what it was. Um, for Tay, we've liked Tay since the beginning. She's a fan favorite. I think she's gonna go far. I think the biggest thing is one thing to feel is one thing to feel at peace, is another thing to be fulfilled. It's one thing to be at peace, it's another thing to be fulfilled. It's one thing to be at peace, it's another thing to be fulfilled. So my main thought here, everybody, with Tay and Cisco is you're at peace now, but will you be fulfilled after this? Because just because that insecurity's at peace, doesn't mean that you're going to be fulfilled by the end of it. Because if that insecurity is still within you, um, then what are you going to do?
But also with that, how can you try to help someone through an insecurity that they have while creating another insecurity? Because if she's feeling like there's an issue with him and his past and the being homeless, or or basically not being where he needs to be right now, and that's something that she's actually going back and forth with, and she's still saying that, hey, this is something I'm still struggling with. I'm not saying that I'm completely over it right now. I'm still struggling, but I'm able to move forward. All the while you're sitting there knowing in the back of your mind you was just body painting with a full naked body in front of you just like the previous day, but then you're in front of her kissing. Like, I don't know, that just doesn't make sense to me, because you can't you're going in your mind and you're on the confessional talking about how this is weighing on you and how you want to say something, but yet you're sitting here in this woman's face listening to her tell you about her insecurities, or where her abandonment issues come from, or how she's feeling about a certain issue when it comes to you guys, and she's actually even apologizing to the way that she felt, and even how she was with you during the block party. She's acknowledging her faults with it. She's acknowledging the problems and issues that she had with it. All the while this is going on in your head, and you still don't say, hey, because I don't want to create more issues, or because this is, something I don't want you to just find out later on. I did have a date and this is what happened. Can we move on? Because now in the confessionals, or when they're in the vault and they're sitting there talking, it's almost like Shanice has an upper hand, and she was just sitting there waiting for Tay to say something about Cisco, for her to say, oh yeah, Cisco's my top. We had body painting and I was fully naked and he was doing this and he was doing that. Like, that was her card to play. And that was her way of, okay, kind of knocking Tay out of the running for Cisco's attention. Because Shanice, yeah, she likes Fritz, but she does like Cisco too. And she likes Cisco because Cisco has the body type that she wants, and he has the physical attributes that she likes, but he's not her type. Like, he's not who she really wants. But it's still, I mean, women are competitive just like men are. And this is a competition. Okay. This is a show to find your man. But so I feel like
Correct.
he gave Shanice an upper hand to use against Tay when it came to time for the vault.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't see. What was you saying, Bray?
No, I said no. Fully agree with you, and I think that's a wonderful point that you make. Of for Sharice to have the upper hand here, where now guess what? The next time you talk, like you said, that insecurity that she gave away, which was at peace, now she's not fulfilled because you broke that peace. So now it's a cycle of being in peace or being in pieces. And eventually, to use the words of a person that, reportedly has made 25 albums in jail, allegedly, when a woman's fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. And when that woman hits that button, like on Deal or No Deal, and takes the deal, that's it. You can no longer play Deal or No Deal. So yeah, Cisco's gonna have a time next week. Well, actually, not next week, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah. So now let's talk for the ladies' deliberation. And the ladies actually were very I don't know why they were fighting for this man, especially Diona and Sahara. Sahara came off very vindictive. I was like, girl, I know you have an issue with Fritz, but why were you speaking just because you were told that he wanted to get you out? I too want to avenge myself, but you're making it too obvious. Like you wanted to beat it into people's mind that we needed Fritz out. I mean, it was like you're doing a little too much. And I don't know why, what's her name? I keep forgetting this lady's name every time. What's her name? Someone
Who,
reminds me.
Shanice or the
Denise,
Deanna?
yes, Shanice. I don't know why Shanice was taking off for Fritz. Like, girl, calm your chicken. I get that two of you are more aligned, but what he's telling people, Sahara was not lying. She was just too aggressive in the way she was saying it out. Sahara did not lie when she said he was playing. Sahara did not lie about that polygamy part, but I was tired of her bringing it up, and that was why she was looking unreliable. Like she was just beating and beating and beating and beating. And I hated the fact that Shanice was reducing the other women's experience with Fritz. Like even when Rose spoke about her, she just like dismissed it. I don't like that. Like I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Because I hate when people dismiss other people's feelings because you are sort of close to this person. What someone you are close with is doing to you, they will definitely act way differently to other people. And I want people to understand that.
No, she doesn't. And then, like you said, like it was her delivery, the way that she continued on and on about it. And then you just wanted to get aggressive. Couldn't anybody say anything? And it really, really shocked me how Deanna was coming so hard on Fritz's behalf because I didn't even know that they had a connection like that for it to be where she's like, oh, it's basically speak for yourself because I've had such a great time with Fritz and I've had this type of conversation with him. Girl, where? Because I haven't seen it. Because every conversation that you've had with the man, you have dismissed him as if he is just, you know, just nothing. Like, so what is it that you and Fritz have for to where, you're defending him like that? Like, I can understand, Shanice doing it because we have seen her have a connection with Fritz. We have seen their conversations and them talk and stuff like that. Understandable. But I don't know, the back and forth with Deanna, I just didn't understand. And then finally she realized, she's like, why am I even getting into this? Because it has nothing even to do with me. I was wondering the same thing, girl. But Sahara, yeah, the way that she was coming at it, yeah, she was telling the truth, but it does seem more vindictive. And let's just go ahead and put this out there too. The stuff that she was saying about how Fritz was trying to get her out and how Fritz had this problem and was trying to do this, she's doing the exact same thing. Like you're the female Fritz right now because you're trying to find every reason why, and then you're even putting all the other women in there. We all, we feel this way and we do that. Like, talk about how you feel. Don't put everybody else in it because that's why you have this back and forth going on right now because you're trying to add everybody else into the equation to make it like it's a unanimous decision that y'all just all want to get Fritz out. And I feel like it's that reasoning because one, of course, she didn't like what Fritz said in the men's vault, but she's got to take accountability at some point in time. Like, girl, your personality, it's how you are. Like, you give off too much. Like, you give off, like, this is gonna sound so bad, but she is the type of chick, like, she seems like she's vindictive. Like, if she's in a relationship and she gets mad at you enough, like, she will do some foul shit. Like, she's the type that will shit in your granny's ashes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she will do some foul stuff. Some stuff. Like, I don't know. Like she listen, if she's burning candles and hiding stuff under the house and casting spells, are y'all really sure that she wouldn't do no stuff like that?
I would like to hope, Gigi, that she would not go there. I'm a little, my throat is choked and not in the way that I want it. But that's neither here nor there. But no, I just
I'm just saying. Listen, she's casting spells and all. So you tell him,
okay.
listen, mm-mm.
Listen, with all that being said, and I did say what I said, I'm very flabbergasted right now. I will agree that what Sahara is doing is she is destroying herself. Um, you know, in a firework display where the colors are not even that amazing to look at. Um, I really am perplexed by what Gigi said. I did not expect that for real. Listen, and listen, there's no reaction time for me, my Lord. We fall down, but we get up. Amen. Stay tuned. Amen, brother. But no, seriously, I feel like what Sahara is doing is not right because, like we said before, um, you are adding fuel to your own demise. You have gotten feedback time after time after time. And so, because you are upset of your demise happening, you want to throw somebody else um, under the bus because of your own destruction. And with Deanna, you're right, Gigi, we have not seen that. But Deanna was also correct in the fact of, well, it's your experience, right? So you have to say it's for you. So that's how I truly feel on all that. That really was a lot, and it seems like there's a lot more happening behind the scenes than we know. I'm surprised none of it has come to YouTube as of yet, but I am sure it will. But yeah, so that was I y'all can have it. I don't know what to say after that. I really
Listen, that's a shock to me too, because y'all know normally like episode 4 is when shit really be going down on Instagram. That's when they want to spill the tea, the beans, like they getting into it, they're going back and forth. By episode 4 or 5, something ends up happening. So I am very shocked that we've not had
I think
more
they're
drama on social
waiting,
media.
they're waiting for the second half to start. But Coley has already started speaking, but they are waiting for the second half to start so that they will have no like drama to keep people entertained. No, everybody's shocked that they're taking a break. So yeah, I think that's the main reason why they're doing that. But yeah, at the end of the day, we had Fritz and Eddie at the bottom, and girl, Sahara and Rose were the ladies chosen to be part of the news. The gloating from Sahara, I was like, girl, calm down. You are doing way too much. And then using the girl's name to lie about how you felt, talking about, oh, some people was thinking about the polygamy, some people was thinking you have been playing. Girl, you were the one thinking all those things. Stop. You could have just given him the criticism. Always take the high road in this kind of stage. You've already done so much to bring him to this stage. You've won. At this point, you take the high road and end the whole thing. I don't understand what attitude, like the vibe she was giving here. Now, miss me with that.
Yeah, why was she why like why is she always so over the top? Like, okay, one's personality, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to ask this because it's like, okay, yes, a person should be themselves wholeheartedly, like be you. But also, we as people know when to kind of tone down so much of ourselves. Like, you know what setting to go ahead and be your full lively selves and what time, when to kind of compress some of it. But when you're just like you said, she was gloating. They could have had somebody else do that date with Fritz. I'm sorry. I don't feel like she should have been the one that sat there in front of Fritz and did all that, because that was her way of basically, I told you so. Oh, I got the upper hand now. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm finna get you out of here. And then her conversation with it, she still has she has no couth about herself. Like, there's just, I, I don't know. It's something about her that it really, and please, y'all, do not try to cancel me. But I feel like she sets us back a little bit. Like the way she is, and just like how much she just, there's, I don't want to use the word ratchet, but she's ratchet. Like, I don't know. She sets us back. But like I said, I feel like she's still here because she's entertainment. She brings that drama. She brings when it comes to us, we are still stereotyped on TV. We're stereotyped out in the world. We have to bring a certain facade to us. So when it comes to certain shows, they still have to um show us in the light of being like that. They have to show us being ratchet. Like, I'm surprised she hasn't flung a drink already, because I feel like that's just where she's at. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's a drink thrower. She's about to get up in your face. She's, head bobbing, head swinging, fingers in your face. Like, I just see her like that. But I feel like the reason why she is still there is definitely because she gives the energy of, she's able to bring a negative light to us when it comes to the show. They have to have at least one person to do that, and she's that one. She's the token wretch on the show.
No, I don't disagree because once again, who in their right damn mind after that boat scene said, "Okay, y'all, so let's all gather around." Okay, all right. So which one of you is going to break? Who allowed Sahara to open up her mouth and be a representative? Good. You know what? Nephew Tommy could have went on this and just been like, you know what, bro? Listen, um, I hate to do this, but I gotta come to you man to man. There's been a lot said about you. Like, there's a way to do everything. Like, like I said, this is supposed to be season 10, a celebratory season, and this is what we got. Just whoever is the casting, whoever's on casting. I am not saying you do not deserve your job, because with the person we have in office, everybody deserves their job. But I do believe maybe mentally you might need to sit out next season. Because if you fought for this person and maybe they showed you something that we haven't seen on the show, but if you fought for this person, I really want you to look at your peripheral vision, of not just sight, but your logic. Because how does she get through? I just want to know. Because like I said, she's making Janelle look like a saint. I rather would have Auntie coming outside crying about some fish than a token ratchet person. I can't do it.
I'm just waiting for her to go ahead and get back down to the bottom two. When they come back, go ahead, put her back down to the bottom two so she can sit there and talk about how she just don't understand, or she knew that she was ready for love, but she just don't understand how don't nobody want her. Either self-eliminate or just go. And yes, Humble Mink, she is the token ratch. She's, yes, that's what she is. Hmm. Yes.
Ooh. You guys are practically, if Sahara can block us 2 more times, she will. Because, I feel, let me just move on. Then it got to Eddie. Eddie. The drinking explanation actually made me almost laugh because then I go out, I drink, but I've not gotten drunk yet. That's what drunks to say. But we've not gotten any evidence of him drinking too far, but I felt like he just took all the criticism and he had an explanation for every single criticism they had for him. You are so flirtatious. I like making my women comfortable, so I flirt. See, there's no problem with flirting, but the kind of flirtations, they are very disrespectful that they are excessive. Because I've met very like flirtatious people, and I don't think I've ever said, "Oh, you're so flirtatious." There's something we call respectful flirting, so that the other person will be comfortable in your presence. But you are not. And I don't think Eddie understands the gravity of what he's doing because he's just so handsome.
Eddie
Yeah.
still has some growing to do.
Mhm. No, go ahead, Gigi. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was just saying, like, I just feel like he needs to grow up more. I don't know, there's just more to him that I feel like needs work. This isn't, mm, what he's looking for is not on this show right now. And I'm kind of glad that he is in the bottom two. He does need to go ahead and just try to reevaluate the things that he wants in life and kind of where he's at in life in order to get those things. Because you can say, like, hey, this is what I want out of a partner, this is what I expect. But if you're not even there to even be able to pick up the rest of what is lacking, then what are you getting? Like, you're just putting yourself in a situation to either destroy the other person or to be destroyed. Like, mm. And then the whole drinking thing, like, your whole comment is to, well, I haven't been drunk during this process. Okay, what? That's not addressing the issue, though, sir. That's that's not what they're saying. They're saying that they think you might have a drinking problem. Like, do we not understand that there's some concern?
Mhm.
But and Humble Meek, we've said that. Listen, he is a nice looking guy, but what else is there to him? And we've said this throughout the show plenty of times because every season there's always one or two or a couple of them that feel that they're just the sexiest things alive. They are the hottest things out there, and their looks are going to get them any and everywhere that they want to be, which is why they're still alone. But that's not my business. But still, I'm just saying, your looks is going to take you far. It's going to get you any and everything, and you can have any and everybody you want, but you're alone. Make it make sense. So clearly, your looks aren't getting you as far as you want them to. So yeah, he looks good, but what else does he have to come with that? Because guess what? That face could change. That face could get messed up. That face can become unrecognizable. But at the end of the day, what do you have to go with it? Because if it came today to where something happened, he was in an accident and his face got messed up. What do you have? What do you have? Where's your personality? What do you have to offer someone that's going to make them want to be with you and look past what you look like? I don't know.
Yeah. I fully agree. I do think that Eddie is a bit displacent here with his mindset. And it's one of those things where you may not see it as a problem, but just because you don't see it as a problem doesn't mean it's not a problem. Because they say, habits die hard. And so what they are probably thinking is, okay, well, if you can't own up to this, right, then what can you own up to ever if we get into a relationship? And, Gigi is right. I mean, we've seen this since 2020 that, left can be right and right can be left to right now. You know what I mean? So I do think that there is a mental delay. And I don't mean that from the sense of, I don't mean that from the sense of a disability. Please understand what I'm saying here. I say it is a mental delay of comprehension skills, of not recognizing that, the fear that you don't want to see is a fear that can consume you. Wherever you don't confront, you will allow. So I think they just want to know that you have enough sense here to recognize that, can you own up to what we are saying? Not saying that you're perfect, but do you have a pulse here? I think that's what they're trying to say.
Yeah, but we pretty much know Fritz is the one that's he's gonna get chopped. Because you're definitely right, Slana. Sahara was way too happy. She was just way too excited to be the one to go on the date with Fritz. The whole conversation just showed that she was ready to eliminate him, and she went in there with the full extent of him being eliminated. So I feel like Fritz is the one that's going to be eliminated. Is going to leave Eddie, but he's still not going to show more. Like I don't feel like there's going to be any more substance to him. Like, what else is there going to be? And then, y'all, we got to wait until the summer to see the rest of it.
I,
Ah,
I know. I saw that. I'm just like, wait a minute, what's going on? And of course, the Never Ever Mets is coming up, which I'm so excited for. By the way, GG9 was the queen to be able to give y'all the teaser. And then myself was able to show y'all the trailer before Own did it. So looking forward to reviewing that. Hopefully we'll review it together as a group here. But
yeah, yep, absolutely.
yeah, but it's going to be interesting. And here's the thing too. I really don't think Sahara is really all that intelligence. Uh, or all that intelligent rather. Because no, hang on. I'm going to describe what she has done for herself. If she eliminates Fritz, right? There are connections to Fritz. Sahara really doesn't have anyone. She has rejected Cam, the only person that has been there for her. So the next time that they all get together in a group and Fritz is not there, you got Sharice to deal with. You got a couple other people to deal with because they actually have a connection. And then when you are at the bottom, like Gigi's been saying, and like we've all been saying, including you, Salada, then what? In the words of DJ Khaled, congratulations, you played yourself. So you got revenge on Fritz, but the gag is Fritz have more connections than no connections that you don't have. You really
Yeah,
are that fucking
but
stupid.
then just a quick to end this one. We also see that when they go, I guess they're in like a little house, how they normally do. They give like the couple
The,
days where
the
they're all
vacation,
in one
yes.
place. Jay and Sahara basically are connecting, which we have kind of seen that a little bit where, you know, Jay and Sahara was talking on a different level and it kind of made Kiara feel some type of way. And we
Yep.
see that coming up. So is it going to be to where okay, now she's making the moves on Jay because I feel like that is going to be her only connection that's left. That is the only person she's going to have who she could possibly hold on to that's going to keep her in there. And if Cam keeps holding on to her, then that says a lot about him,
That part.
because Rose is supposed to be your connection.
He likes racket. He likes women that confuse him. Like he's too obvious about Pam. He likes women that have control. Rose is too feminine. I don't even think they will last outside even if it's together. But yeah, we have to wait till summer for the next part of the season. It was actually fun. I hope I'll have fun by that time. I don't know why they had to do this. This was the perfect time. But oh well, we'll see you guys next time and later.
See
Don't
ya.
forget to
Bye.
subscribe.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.